Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne and I run this YouTube channel, and I also run the Sussex Handmade Soap Company, which is a small bath and body business based in the southeast of the UK. Today we are going to be making a natural tallow based soap. We're going to colour it, or at least we're going to colour a portion of it green with glacial marine clay, and we are also going to add in some green tea powder to add a little bit of texture and to add a little exfoliating element to the final soap. Now, for those of you who have seen my other recent videos, you will know that we are actually now able to sell the soaps that we are making on this YouTube channel. And this soap will be available on the 29th of March in our website just here, and it will be at the discounted price of £3 because the soaps we're making on YouTube are soaps that I don't want hanging around the house for too long, and I figured if I do them at a discounted price, hopefully they'll sell quicker. I'll still make a little bit of money. The video will hopefully make a little bit of money if I'm lucky. Everybody wins. So 29th of March, there will be 16 of these available, just the one loaf that we are making on camera today. So if you like the look of it, get in quick. All good. Right, let's jump in and make some soap. So briefly running through today's ingredients before we get into making the soap. Obviously we have got the lye water. I'm not going to show that being made today. It's just easier for me to have the lye on the go while I'm filming the intros to the videos and whatnot. And you've seen me do it loads of times before. If you haven't and you do want to know how to mix up lye water, check one of the videos in the links up here, and that will show you exactly how to prepare your lye water. Right, solid oils today. We have got tallow and we have got coconut oil. They will be melted down in a moment. And our liquid oils today are olive oil, castor oil and sweet almond oil. And the additives that we are going to be using today to make our soap really stand out. I have got 2 portions of green tea powder because we are going to be splitting the batter into 2 before we do anything with it, and both portions are going to have some green tea powder. We have then got 1 portion of glacial marine clay, which I get from Cosmetic Safety Solutions in the UK. That is going to go in the base of our soap, our bottom portion. We have got some beautiful bright pink cornflower petals to decorate the top of our soap. And we have got our essential oil blend here and here. And today's blend is a mix of Bergamot, Sandalwood Amyris, and we have also got a little bit of Clary Sage, which is incredibly expensive, but I had some that I am wanting to use up because it was in a product that we no longer sell, and I've got some left over. So I popped it in here and it smells really nice actually, those 3 essential oils together. So those are our additions, right? And as if by magic, our solid oils are now melted down. So we are going to add in our liquid oils. Not wearing my gloves or goggles yet because my lye is well out of the way. I'm going to be honest, haven't even actually started my lye yet today. Got a bit sidetracked, but the camera battery is flashing red and I know it's going to need charging up, so I'm going to give it a nice charge whilst I get my lye prepared. I just kind of wanted to get these bits filmed before the camera gave up on its last little nodule of battery power. This will sit anyway, and if it gets too cool I can just pop it on the hob and warm it up a little bit. Right, where is my thermometer? Opposite end of the room, that's where. So the temperature at the moment is 105.8 Fahrenheit, 106.5. Okay, so it wavers around a little bit. Between 105 and 107 Fahrenheit at the minute, which is absolutely fine, but as I said, our lye is not yet quite ready. So I'm going to put this to one side, I'm going to charge up the camera, and I will be back when we have some lye and some now more battery power. So the oils are sitting just under 100 Fahrenheit, the lye water here is just over, so I'm going to pour the lye water down into the oils. Then I'm going to use the stick blender and a combination of stirring and pulsing to bring our batter to a light trace. So it's been only a couple of minutes and we are at a very light trace just past emulsion. I'm going to split the batter down into 2 portions now, and then we are going to add our colourant, so our clay and our green tea powder, and then we are going to thicken it up a little bit more. And it's going to be an equal split today. Oh dear, what am I doing? I haven't even put the scales under there yet. Idiot. Right, so let's try that again. Oh no, I haven't turned them on, have I? Oh goodness. Right, the scales are there and the scales are on and at 0. Right, as I was saying, it is a completely equal split today. We won't worry about that little dribble in the bottom of that jug. So it is 1200 in each of the jugs. Now that's 1192, and I reckon with that little splash that was left in the bottom, that will bring it up to 1200. Don't really need to weigh the second one, but we will just to check. That is just over 1100, and when I have scraped out what is left in the bottom here, we should be at 12 or very close. And now we can add in our colourants. So to the bottom portion we are adding in our glacial marine clay and our green tea powder. And in the top portion we are adding a smaller amount of green tea powder. I'm going to start with the bottom portion. The reason that I am adding green tea into both portions but I am adding less in the top portion is that I don't actually really want to get a colour as such from it. I want it to be more kind of a texture, if you like. I want it to kind of give a little bit of a texture, maybe a very slight colour, which will probably be a browny green tint, because I think green tea just kind of gives, or at least fades to a browny kind of colour. But that's okay. I just don't want my top portion to be totally creamy white. I want it to have a little bit of texture and a little bit maybe of discoloration, but nothing major, whereas I want the bottom portion to be more green. I have just gone in with the clay. I haven't added the green tea powder yet. I'm going to get this to a light medium sort of trace, and then I'm going to add in the green tea powder. That should do it. Quite a nice medium kind of trace, which is what I'm hoping for, because with today's design we don't want it to be too thin, because if the batter is too thin then it won't swirl or behave the way that I am hoping in my head. Right, let's add in our green tea powder now as well. So green tea going in. And I say I'm hoping in both portions it's going to add a little bit of kind of texture. I'm hoping in this bottom portion, because I have added more into the bottom portion than the top, that it might contribute to kind of more of a yellowy green. The glacial marine clay on its own is beautiful, but you do get a really kind of creamy green. I don't really know what creamy green is, but to me it's kind of, I don't know, an avocado-y green, aloe vera-y green. I'm wanting more of a kind of grass when it hasn't rained for a little while kind of green. So green verging on almost a tint of yellow to it. Cool, I should write paint shade names, shouldn't I? Grass before rain. Creamy green. Anyway, that's the kind of colour I'm going for. Right, that is worked in there. Bring in our uncoloured portion. Now I am going to give it a little whiz. I'm not going to bother clearing that off the blender. It will not make much difference. I'm just going to bring this to a similar sort of thickness as the other one. And I think that will do. So we will scrape off the blender. And now I'm going to add in the smaller amount of green tea into this portion, and just hope that it doesn't massively colour it, just adds a little bit of texture. and a very slight colouring. Possibly have got away with slightly less of the green tea actually, if I'm being completely honest. Let's see the colours side by side. Although to be honest, no, we're alright. There's still quite a obvious difference in colour with those two, isn't there? You can see that's kind of a creamier colour. This is definitely a greener colour. Right, we're going to need to add in the essential oils. Now, because I haven't used Clary Sage and soap before, I'm not sure if it's going to accelerate trace or not. So I'm going to get everything kind of ready before we go in with the essential oils. So let's position the mould. Mould there, lower portion here. Can you see? Oh, it's really difficult not having Wayne here. Oh, I want my cameraman back. Right, okay, that will have to do. We are going in with our essential oils into our first portion. I'm going to stir them in nicely, make sure they are properly incorporated, hoping that this is not going to thicken or do anything unexpected, and also trying to make sure that you guys can still see what I'm doing. Multitasking. Let's tip it into the mould, and for the bottom half it is just a very easy tip it all in kind of drill, and that is doing what I had hoped it was going to do with the texture that I was talking about. I think the flecks of green tea give a really nice kind of textured look to the soap. The essential oils going in. And what I'm doing with this design is, you'll probably know on many of my designs, when I pour one layer over another, I'm always very careful, talking about not breaking through. We don't want to break through the layers. Be careful, pour over a spatula. Today, we're forgetting about all that, because today we are hoping to break through the layers. What I want is a very much broken through cream top layer, breaking through into the green bottom layer, pushing it up in kind of a, I suppose, a U shape or a wave shape. And then we're going to top it off with some pretty pink flower petals and hope that it looks just fine and dandy. Dandy and fine. Now, I don't want my breaking through to be perfectly central either. So what I'm going to do, and I hope this works, I'm going to try and go just slightly off centre so that our wave or our U shape in our final soap is not perfectly symmetrical. So I'm holding it up about here, and I'm just going to pour the whole lot down like this. See what happens. So one big swirl. Ooh, there we go. Now, that's not quite what I was expecting it to actually do. I was kind of thinking, I don't know what I was thinking actually, but I was kind of not this. I thought there wouldn't be so much green on the top. Never mind. We'll see what happens. That's what I kind of like about making up new designs with soap. I'm just trying to neaten up the edge here a bit. What I really like is that the way that you never quite know what to expect. I definitely overfilled it. I'm just taking off a little bit because we want to get those flower petals on as well. We are decorating with these beautiful pink cornflower petals, and all I'm going to do you know what, I am going to take my glove off. I do this all the time, and I know I shouldn't take my glove off, but I just find it so hard to sprinkle tiny little petals with a gloved hand. And I'm just going to cover the entirety of the soap. I have got 5 grams of petals in here. If I do not use them all, I will weigh what I have left, and then I know that I can deduct what I have left from 5, and that will give me the amount that I have used in my recipe. The nice thing about cornflowers is that they are one of the flowers that generally don't turn too brown in cold process soap. Do you know what? I think I'm going to use this full 5 grams. There we go. So here we have the finished soap. We just need to wait 24 hours or so till we can turn it out, cut it up, and then see what that inside has actually done. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this one because I have got no idea what it's going to have done underneath there. And I do hope the colours are different enough and don't blend too much into each other. We'll find out tomorrow. I will see you then. And 24 hours later, we have our soap ready for unmoulding. I'm not going to show me doing the full unmoulding of this one. I've done a couple of videos of showing how I get them out of the mould, and I think too many is just going to become repetitive. Look how much mess I made. This is going to need a proper good clean. Right, let's get this out of the mould and then get it cut, shall we? There we go. That's what it's looking like on the sides at the minute, so we can't see any of the white. Oh my goodness, who's calling again? This is the second time my videos have been interrupted by phone calls and nobody ever calls me. Okay, that stopped. Right, let's carry on. Where were we? Right, yeah, we can't see any of the white colour that we put in, or the creamier colour, just the green. You can see the flecks from the tea. Let's get this cut up. I just really want to see what it's looking like on the inside. So because of all the flowers, I am going to cut this one upside down, just so that the flowers don't drag through the soap. My soap cutter is broken for those of you who don't watch my other videos. I'm missing a wire, which is why I've got to cut it like this. Right, let's go through that soap and see how it's turned out. I'm really looking forward to seeing whether this has worked or not. I hope it has, but we're about to find out. Let's take this little piece here and see what we have got. Okay. A kind of little white swirl in the middle there. Got the flowers on top there. I quite like the little swirl. I'm just not sure about the green tea being in the whiter portion. Perhaps we should have just done green tea in the green portion. So I have been studying this soap for a little while, and I know you're going to think I'm just saying it, but actually I am really starting to fall in love with it. And I know I really wasn't sure when I first cut it if I liked it or not, and you could probably tell from the tone of my voice I wasn't sure if I was taken with it or not. But actually, spending a little bit of time and looking at it, it's definitely giving rustic vibes, nobody can deny that. And the swirl isn't quite what I was expecting, but I do love the colour of the green with the pink of the cornflowers, and I do like that little swirl. If I was going to do it again, yes, I probably would add a slightly lower amount of green tea powder to the white portion, but that is a minimal change. And on the whole, yeah, I'm now leaning towards I really like this soap rather than the not sure if I like it or not. One thing I definitely like as well is the smell. The essential oil blend we have used is very, very nice. I think it's actually one of my favourite blends. Hopefully it will last nicely. So if, like me, you're looking at this soap going, yeah, do you know what? I do like that. Then remember, 29th of March on our website, if you're in the UK, you can pick up one of these yourselves. We will only have one loaf of this one available, so 16 bars. And that's generally about it for today. If you enjoy our channel and our videos, please do hit like, hit subscribe, leave us a comment, and we will see you next week for some more soapy fun.